when people come back over and over, it's such a gift because what the artist way can do in your life absolutely deepens and is different every single time. So it's so cool. And why would you say, like, what I really feel like the artist way calls to you when it's time. It's like, it's such a weird thing to like promote a class and be like, I want you to take my class, but also like, it has to be the right time spiritually for you? So it's like,
Right.
what do you feel like made you willing to take that leap of faith finally? I know it's a hard question.
I mean,
And I this wasn't on the list.
part of it, like, I don't totally remember. Like, the world was, like, difficult, but not as difficult as it is right now.
Mm,
Um, like, I feel like now I need it more than I have ever needed it. Um, I think probably a big part of what propelled me to do the class the first time was that I was very unhappy in my day job. I had a different day job at the time, and it was really bad, and, like, even looking back, I don't think I knew quite how bad it was at the time, but it was bad, and it was, like, really depleting, and so I was interested in reinvesting in my creativity and my creative life, and this was a perfect opportunity.
definitely. No, it's a hard question to ask because I feel like how do we decipher like any sort of decision and leap of faith? It's like always one day you decide, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember when you came in, you shared about your job, and I think that that's sort of the beauty of the cohort is that week after week, when you come in, you're like, I hate my job, I hate my job, I hate my job. It wasn't until spring 24, right, that you got the job.
Late 24. I've been in my current job just for a year.
So it's like, of course, like, you joined in 2023, but having been in the cohort, and this is not me being like, I'm the reason you got a new job, but it's more of like having the container and having the mirror helped you realize, like, I'm writing about it in my morning pages.
Yeah,
I'm talking about it every week. I can't ignore how I feel anymore. And so now I'm slowly making the changes towards, and you enjoy your job now.
I do. As much as, like, honestly, I feel like almost as much as anyone can enjoy a day job that, like, has nothing to do with their actual passions or interests, like, yeah, my job is fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, I think in our class 1 week, this past time, um, we always do roses and thorns to start class, and, like, my rose was my job.
Mm,
Never been true before. Like, this is wild. Uh,
it's It's
yeah.
a gift. I think too, like, it's kind of funny. First of all, I just took a sip of my tea and it was all grounds, so that's why I double drank. Just in case you were wondering, I had to tell you all. This is a drink positive space. But it's funny to be talking about your job when we're talking about the artist way because so many people come to the artist way being like, I'm gonna write that novel or I'm gonna, finally be do my one woman show. But for each person it's so deeply individual and like the reality is that we live in contemporary capitalism and we have to figure out how to make money and have a creative life. And if you're unhappy in the way that you support your life, there's going to be no room for that creative life.
Absolutely.
And getting a job is hard, so it takes time.
Yes. I
It
mean, it
totally takes time.
I think yeah, the first time I did Artist Way, like, I don't remember if I started applying to new jobs, like, during that, but if not, then it was very soon thereafter that I started applying to new jobs, and it just, like, took me a long time to land in something because applying for jobs sucks and getting jobs is hard and takes a lot of time.
Totally. I There's a part of Artist Way where Julia Cameron talks about, when we start the Artist Way, we think we're gonna have to, like, get a divorce and move to Chile and just quit our jobs, when in fact, it's more the acknowledgement of what isn't fitting right and taking those micro actions that lead us towards a life that fits right.
Yeah.
Because the reality is that a lot of us have to work for money, and
Uh,
and not Julia Cameron, no, no. She has a horse and a book that continues to sell forever.
as much as I love
Um,
Artist Way and as much as it has changed my life, I think it's important to acknowledge, like, right up front, Julia Cameron's immense limitations. Um,
Totally. I mean, also too, like, this book was written in the 90s, like
Written in the 90s by like an unbelievably financially secure, like middle-aged white woman. Like, girl, and it reads that way sometimes.
yeah. Yeah. I one year we did, were you in the year-long cohort?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the problem is that I feel like they all bleed together in my head, so I can't remember who is where. I remember the people who come, I remember that when people come, but I can't remember when. But, I think that that's why I love, like, Beth Pickens' Make Your Art No Matter What.
I just recommended that book to somebody who told me that they were reading Artist Way for the first time, like just them, and like they were enjoying it and getting a lot out of it. But I was like, if you want to read something that's like more contemporary feeling and like better acknowledges that we don't all have the same 24 hours in a day, you should read Make Your Art No Matter What by Beth Pickens.
Yeah, Beth Pickens is incredible, and she does Homework Club, which is, a monthly club, essentially, where you are able to listen to her lecture on a different topic. Last month was rejection. I think the month before that was can't remember. It's past 4 p.m., the sun is setting, you're not gonna get me to remember anything. But it's a very active resource. I mean, I think that, like, the real key here is, like, finding creative community,
Hmm.
and, like, the artist way has its limitations, but it's also an incredible tool, and
Oh,
it
100%.
like, I think it's week 8 when she's like, "Write your list of touchstones." She's like, "For Julie or for Stephanie, it was just raspberries, which were, depending on the week, 198 or 394." I was like, "Girl, raspberries are not 198 no more," you know? Which is always a sad reminder.
Yes.
Um,
Also,
Beautiful.
feels worth mentioning Julia Cameron is the ex-wife of Martin Scorsese?
Correct.
Yeah,
And
like,
the sister of James Cameron.
really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
The plot
Wow.
thickens. Yeah.
So, yeah, she's, like, really, you know, in, like, the elite class of whatever. Yeah.
Oh, she's connected. Homie's connected, and God bless. I love that
And
she's, like, in her little pueblo in New Mexico, and she has her little friends, and she's walking on her treadmill when it's too hot to go outside, and we love that for her. But also, I think sometimes when, uh, you can see the limitations of something, it's easier to be like, "Well, it's antiquated," or "It has limitations, so why even try it?" And I think, like, with Artist's Way, like, coming forward and being like, there are contemporary issues that, like, don't scan well, But that being said, I think that that's the beauty of the cohort is that we're all like, "Yeah, I
right.
have to work."
Yeah.
And so I think, like, where the limitations in the book exist, the container and the group and the cohort is able to be like, we're able to talk about it with lovingly and critically,
Yeah,
that it's like, this is a tool that helps us, but also, there are dated. It is 2025 and
yeah,
raspberries are not 198 no more.
correct.
Annie, what did you find most challenging about doing the 12 weeks of the artist way?
Um, one thing the first thing that comes to mind for me with challenges in the artist way is that I find Julia's sort of framing, like the spiritual slash religious element of it was difficult for me in the beginning. Um, she does say very explicitly, like, I'm gonna use the word God, but if that doesn't work for you, like, I want you to use whatever terminology works for you because it all means the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I do appreciate that she says that up front. That's like in the prologue or in chapter 1, she says
Yeah.
that.
It's in the introduction, I think.
Okay, yeah. Um, and I know that like a lot of artist way comes from 12 step, which is its language is reliant on like God and a higher power. And even though she acknowledged that right up front, it was still difficult for me as somebody who like has never been religious and who does not believe in God, God narrowly defined, I guess. That was just like strange for me.
Yeah.
Uh, I definitely have gotten more comfortable with it at the more times I've gone through the book, and like now I find myself saying things like, "Oh, like the universe like put this in my way," and it's like that means the exact same thing. That means the same thing. It's just like the language.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty is that, she is presenting this concept that is so fraught for so many people, whether it's atheism or religious trauma or no real sort of depth with it. It's such an elusive thing. And so I'm thankful that you're bringing it up because it's a huge topic, and I think like the beauty of it, much like 12th step, is like it's a God of your own understanding, and like being able to like jump and the net will appear. Like that's just to have faith. Have faith that something will happen. Or like God, like the universe put this in my path is like, thank God. But I think that like I think so often in like contemporary society, it's like if I take this drug, if I lose that weight, if I blah blah blah, like there's so much if based on these sort of like ingesting or buying things. And so to have this tool that is something that's like between you and the divine, that is like you can't buy that. And I think that that's what makes it so powerful and dangerous and hard to define.
Yeah. And like I guess something that a framing that also helps me is just thinking about like, okay, my higher power like is me, but it's like a better version of me. And that
I love that conception of a higher power, of just like it's you on a higher dimension making all the right healthy choices.
yeah,
Like that's the guide.
yeah. It's like that's what I'm aspiring to and that's what I'm trying to live into by doing the artist way.
Oh, I love that so much. I'm so glad you brought that up. Because it's the hardest aspect of it, like it is the most challenging aspect of it. Because everyone comes in with I was praying to Elvis before ice skating competitions at the age of 8. So like I've had a lot of practice with defining my own understanding of a higher power. My mom had clairvoyants come to the house and be like, Elvis is here, and it's like it's always been weird and woo woo. So I would like was able to jump in and be like, great, trees, fuck yeah, like writing is channeling. But most people have more fraught things, and that's why I love like being in dialogue because it's like I'm so excited to hear and witness that evolution of like there is divine magic in all things. Like trees communicate under the ground through mushroom networks. Like that's magic. That's something that I don't understand, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And so if trees can do that, I can sit down and write a Substack post.
I that reminds me of something that I just read. It's not like 100% related, but it whatever. It reminds me. So I'm reading this book called How to Tell When We Will Die,
Ooh, I'm looking this up.
Joanna Hedva. It's fantastic.
You always read such good. Whenever you post it from like, bye, I'm gonna buy it. Oh, I'm paying disability.
And Doom. Yeah.
Oh, this is right up my alley. Okay, tell me what you're thinking about in
Um,
terms of
so there was a footnote. Wait, now I'm losing my train of thought. Um, wait, what
sorry. I got too excited.
okay, wait, what were you just talking about?
I said, God of your own understanding, trees, mushroom networks, there's divine
Wait.
understanding in all things. I can sit down and do a Substack post.
Oh my god, I totally lost it. Shit. There was a
I might
note in it that reminded me of something like this.
okay. If it comes back, you just interrupt me because I'm really bad about interrupting people.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
okay.
I'm so glad you brought that up though, because I think that that's one of the most compelling and challenging aspects of the book. Like number one, going through the 12 weeks by yourself is super hard. Like it took me 6 months to get through it by myself the first time. And number two, like God, higher power, whatever. It's like I want to believe that I'm doing everything. of my own volition, of my own willpower, like pull yourself up from your bootstraps. Like that is a very American ethos.
It's
And
worst.
it's so damaging because it's like I'm just like one little frail human,
Yeah.
you know?
And we all need community and we all need support and we don't do anything alone. Like that's ridiculous. So
And I really like I mean, this is, of course, like I'm the one facilitating it. So, obviously I get something from it, but I do have to say those 3 weeks or those 3 months at the beginning of the year are the best time of my year. Like I feel so connected. I feel powerful. I feel like I'm like engaged in like my self-development and also witnessing other people go through hard things and grow. Like it's such a gift. And I just want to thank you for coming back again and again. And you've always been such a champion of it. And
yeah,
that is like, I can't even begin to articulate how much that means to me because, I really do believe that like helping people and myself included, like connect to their creativity, it is their divine right, and that like there's a lot of shifting we have to do in our modern lives in order to create space to facilitate our own creativity. And I just wanna thank you for taking that leap of faith over and over,
of course.
you know?
I, you are yeah. I know you're always saying like I'm not doing the work, you guys are doing the work, meaning the cohort, but like you're doing a lot of the work and your own amazing facilitator.
Thank you, my friend. What Okay, I have a question. I have 2 questions. Well, maybe I have 4 questions, but okay, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Um, what do you find most helpful about the artist way?
Um, Two things. One is the way that I've always done it, which has been in these cohorts, like having the cohort is so helpful. I can't imagine like reading this book and doing all the activities like by myself, partly because I certainly would not be motivated to keep up with it. And partly because it's just like a lot of fun to talk to everybody about like, how was your week and what was your artist date and like what's your medium? What are you working on? Like what does your creative life, both internal and external, look like? Like it's really great to be in a community of creative people for those 3 months. Um, I yeah, because I don't really feel like I have a community of artists in Chicago, and so my communities of artists just like look different, and like this is a really major one of them. So I love that. And the other thing I find most helpful about Artist Way is the artist dates. I hate them. I mean, I don't hate. I hate.
Yeah.
I hate they're hard. They're really difficult to do. But then when I do them, I'm like, oh yeah, this is really helpful.
What do you find difficult about them?
Um, I mean, leaving the house is really hard. Um, and always some of my artist dates are like, I'm gonna do a collage, I'm gonna clean the bathroom, I'm gonna take a bath. They're like things I do at home. But I always try to do at least like a few actual leave the house artist dates. Like last time I had one really good artist date that I remember, which was I went downtown and I took myself out for brunch and I went to a little museum and that was like, oh, that filled the well. That was like really fun and cool. And I actually left my house. Um, yeah, it's really important to engage with art in general, but I think especially art that's outside of the medium that you work in, because it
Mhm.
reminds you like how different creativity can look.
Definitely. It's hard to schedule artist dates. I like to say that a nap can be an artist date. It makes it makes the like the bl low like the bar so low that it's like, "Okay, I did the nap. What's next?" Then it's the bath.
Okay, a bath is totally an artist date because a bath is like weird.
What do you mean?
Like very few adults take baths.
Is that true?
I think so.
I love a bath. The only reason I don't take baths is because my hot water heater in Southern California, legally, you don't have to have, like, a good hot water heater, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
so rude. I'm
I
sorry.
just go to my parents' house.
Yeah.
and
Um,
bathe.
I mean, a lot of adults think bats are gross. Like bats are for kids.
Oh my god, the way the rage that just came up in me to defend bats, this is something I'm gonna explore after this. The public reputation of bats.
Maybe I'm wrong, and that's just my
No, you're
impression.
probably right. You're probably right, but I'm a dedicated bath taker. I think it's a ritual. I think it's a beautiful ceremony.
I agree, and that's why I think it's a good artist date.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Annie, what is one thing people should know about the Artist's Way cohort? What is like their one takeaway from this?
Um, that you can and you will learn things from people who you might even think you don't like at first, or people you would never otherwise be in a room with.
Yeah. I think that that's like one of the most beautiful aspects of the cohort is that there's always the most widespread demographics. And I think sometimes um you know, especially like being in LA, all these things, it's like you think that you're surrounded by people that are your same demographic. And I think because it is virtual, like I once had a woman from Kyrgyzstan,
That's
you know? Yeah. And I was like, I forgot to ask her how she found out about it, but she tuned in every week, and it's
that's amazing.
in what other universe would there be a woman from Kyrgyzstan
Yeah.
involved, and I do think that, like, in my own life, I think in general, all of us are craving more in-person community, but that isn't to say that there isn't value in virtual community, that there's still a necessity for it, and I think part of the beauty of it is that you get to be with people that you would never be with otherwise, you
And I
know?
like in my cohorts, they have mostly been like people around my age, people with partners, but not all, certainly not all. Um, and like, even if it's just like one sentence that somebody says one time, like people that you think have nothing valuable to say to you will always say something that ends up being valuable and interesting and like is something that you'll turn over in your head for like weeks or months or forever.
I love that. That is a beautiful thing to take away about the Artist Way cohort is that you will be in community with other people who are also artists, but maybe don't have the accoutrement or don't make art for money or whatever it is, but they're still there because they're an artist just like we are. And they bring value that we can't even see until we've completed the 12 weeks together. So
Yeah.
I love that. Annie, I have one final question for you. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is turquoise.
Ooh! Ah, I feel like turquoise girlies are very specific. You know what I mean?
I what are they? Why are we specific?
I just feel like every girl I know who loves turquoise, like, is like the most like always distinct. I don't know how else to describe it. Like I think that people would think I'm a turquoise girly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm Starburst tropical. I have too many favorite colors. You know what I mean?
Oh, that also makes sense though.
Yeah, yeah. But like turquoise, like I feel like what am I trying to articulate? It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I know.
It's like I feel like y'all like would play ponies in the backyard or something. You know what I mean? Like as children. Did you ever do that?
Like no.
Oh, I'm conflating you with other people I know. I'm gonna let you be your own person.
I just stayed inside and read books as a child.
Well, that was the other thing I was gonna say. Or you stay inside and read books. I feel like I'm living out that childhood now, where I'm just like reading a book a week. I'm like, wow,
Oh, that reminds something else challenging about the Artist Way is
yeah.
reading deprivation week.
Week 4, the reading deprivation.
I
So killer.
It's so hard. It's so hard. And so the first time I did Artist Way, I just did, because this book is from 1995 or whatever. Like there wasn't social media, there wasn't like Instagram. Like the only media you could stay away from basically was reading. So I just did that. But then I think in 2024 the second time I did it, I didn't read any books and I totally stayed off Instagram. And I was like, I was so mad because it like worked. It
I
like
know.
something in my brain and I just like did so much writing and editing that week. And I was like, shit, I can't believe it worked.
It is one of the most deeply upsetting and rewarding weeks.
Yes.
'Cause I feel I as I said, I read about a book a week, so I'm real pissed off that week.
Yeah.
'Cause I get into bed, I'm like, "Ooh, I wanna read." I'm like, I can't."
Right.
Um,
I always read before bed at least for like 10 minutes because I don't want the last thing I do before I go to sleep to be looking at a screen. But like,
yeah,
what the fuck do I do this week?
it's twisted.
It's really hard.
It's a twisted task. I mean, when we do it, I always suggest 'cause some people are like, "I just don't read."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, then you need to be off your phone." I'm sorry, but it's gonna be social media,
Yeah.
which I feel like that's a even more clear, concrete like, of course, that's gonna open up space. I feel like that isn't surprising to people.
Right.
And I feel like people are constantly being like, "I took a month off Instagram and I touched the divine," like, "I am God now."
I mean,
But
I
the
like
great
before I did that the first time, I definitely never would have considered or never considered that I read so much as a way to like distract from my own work. And
Yeah.
well, I still don't think that that's not the primary purpose the primary reason why I read. Like I read because I love books and I love other people's writing and reading is the best and whatever. But yeah, it definitely distracts me from my own work.
I think especially because you can tell yourself as a writer, like, I'm practicing my craft
Right,
by reading as a writer.
right.
Like,
It's like that's bullshit.
it's a nice we tell ourselves stories in order to live, as
Yeah.
Joan Didion once said.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought up the reading fast because that's like really for lack of a better phrase, that like what separates the boys from the men, where it's like if
Right.
you could survive the reading fast, you're in it, you know?
Yeah,
And it's so annoying that it's a good tool and it works.
I know. Yeah.
It makes me so mad every time.
Yep.
And then whenever I know it's week 4 and I know that, and it's still every time it surprises me. It's so painful, but it's a challenge it's so fruitful because then you're like, "Oh, I have to just write the poem. I just have to write the essay. I just have to,
Yeah.
collage."
Yes. I love a good collage. I was a big collager as a child and preteen and even a young teenager, and Artist Way has helped me rediscover the joy of collaging.
I love that so much. I guess I didn't ask explicitly this question, but what did you find most helpful about the artist's way? Or did I ask it? I guess I'm gonna ask you again. Dig deeper, Annie.
I think you did. Most helpful. Um, oh, there's so many things that are helpful. Um,
It can be more than one.
I have like I don't have my notebook with me, but I have like so many lines from the Artist Way written down in my notebook over like the 3 years that I've done it. But um, I think I don't remember what chapter this is in, but at some point Julia's like, you don't need like a room of your own and you don't need a whole day. You don't need like just give yourself 20 minutes. Like sta- after you put away your groceries, like write down a couple lines of something. It's like creativity doesn't require any like special circumstances. Like
Yeah.
yes, you need to make time for it, but you can make that time like in such small increments. That's been really helpful to me. Like
I love that.
not feeling like I have to put aside a whole day or a whole afternoon even to write. It's like, yeah, I can just do it for like 20 minutes and that's
Yeah.
better than not doing it at all.
And those add up too. I find so I'll like block out a whole morning and I'll like freak out about using that morning efficiently and like creating so much ceremony about it and being so precious about it when in fact like by lowering the stakes and working in micro moments, I'm actually doing more work than I would if I was like, this is my capital J job, which as a I am trying to make it my job, but it's
Yeah.
still like, the sort of mental stuff still comes even if when it is your capital J job.
Right.
And so learning to be less precious about it and being like, I have a second there. Instead of looking at my phone, I'm gonna write a line or two.
Yeah.
Um,
Which,
I
like,
love that.
you know, it's not it's maybe not the ideal way to like write a poem or something, but like it is a way, and it's like, okay, if I like have a bunch of these moments where I just like write a little bit at a time, then eventually I'm gonna have, an hour or 2 hours where I can sit down and look at it and be like, okay, like this is what this wants to be.
Yeah.
And it's great. I really feel like Artist Way has given me such a good sense of like, okay, here are like all the little moments that before felt just like dead time, that
Mm.
like time that I'm incorporating into my creative life, which is like I am living a creative life. I'm not just like I'm not only a creative person when I am writing, like I'm always a creative person.
I mean, look at those earrings. Look at that cheetah print.
Thank you.
I feel like your wardrobe absolutely like blossomed over the course of Artist Way. Like the invitation to wear color and just like express yourself. Like I think about like your tulip earrings and like you just like I love how you dress so much. And I also like I feel like food has also been a really big uh source of inspiration and pleasure and joy. Like your whole Instagram, like every time you post about food, like I feel like your Instagram story is like an artful curation, Like, I really try to avoid social media, but when I am on social media, I'm like, I'm flipping through Annie's stories, because, like, you do approach it artfully, and I think that that's really the crux here is, like, learning how to approach our lives with the creative intent, that it isn't just the poem, it isn't just the essay, it's, deciding what to wear, what to eat, how what, thinking about social media more as a curative platform rather than a place of compare and despair, you know? So I'm so honored to witness you, and I'm so honored that time after time you have joined us, and I'm so excited that you're going to be in this cohort. I can't thank you enough for joining 4 times.
Yeah. Is Kelly
That's I hope so. I haven't talked to her yet. I'm assuming yes because
Artist Way
she
is like, well, yeah, doesn't make
and
sense.
and Kelly, do you know how she like joined?
I
Do
don't
you know?
think there's
So she was, like, falling asleep to podcasts, and I guess, like, a podcast, like, when I was on Leanne Kreischer's podcast, like, was playing throughout the night, and then she, like, woke up to it, and so it was, like, almost like sleep, like, hypnotism, and she was like, "Paulina Pinsky," and so she, like, Googled me and, like, found the course, and it's I was, like, asking, how people because of course we knew each other in real life as very young, lasses at Barnard College, but it is such an incredible web that like, Kelly is such a I can't I she's if you've done it 4 times, I think she's done it 6, like and I think and every time is fresh, and every time is such a gift, and we all become friends, and that's the beauty of it is that we get to grow together,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And, like, it takes the whole new year pressure off where you're just like,
Oh yeah. And it's like something nice to do on a Sunday that's like, you know, I don't want to do it. Like I don't want to leave my house on a Sunday, but like I want to do this.
"Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you do," and, yeah, I see little like, there's 10 people on this live, which is incredible, and I wanna thank everybody who's been watching for watching, and you, just like Annie, are welcome to join the January to March 2026 Artist Way cohort. We meet every Sunday, at 11 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm thinking about doing a 2 hour because we usually do an hour and a half, but I'm thinking about doing 2 hours, especially because 'cause I'm only doing 1 cohort.
2 hours.
Um
So good.
and maybe we'll do a little, like, pee-pee break, Like, at the hour, everybody can stand up and move their legs and get a snack. Um,
Great.
but, yeah, we move through together, each session, We start with roses, thorns, and artist dates. So everyone shares the highlight of the week, the low light of the week, and what they did for their artist date. And then we spend the duration of the course digesting what we experienced that week, or what tasks were challenging, or anything sort of top of mind for our creative recovery. So if you're interested, you're welcome to message me, or you're welcome to just sign up on my website, paulinapinski.com. You are able to purchase the course right through there, and I will be in contact as soon as you do that. But I'm happy to answer any and all questions. I hope Annie has been enlightening in a way that I can't be. It's promotion is like such a horrific reality of being like a contemporary person. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I could do someone else's PR, but man, doing my own PR, it's like I would rather peel my skin off my face. It's just like, not to get graphic, but it's painful. But Annie, you have made it an utter delight, and thank you for hanging in through the technical difficulties. And hopefully I'll have more of these that will be on Substack, because Instagram hates me. So
Meta.
fuck Meta. Substack, let's go. Forever. Substack forever. Annie, do you have any final thoughts you want to leave people with?
Um,
You don't have to.
well, I guess just if it's calling to you right now, like, you should take this class. Um, I mean, I hesitate to say don't try to read The Artist's Way by yourself. Like, if you want to do that, I guess you can, but you'll get so much more out of it reading it and doing the activities in it with a cohort, with a group of like-minded creative people. Um, this class totally changed my life, so join me.
Oh, Annie will be there. Annie and I will be there. And it changed my life too. So, and I'm glad that you said that. I mean, it took me 6 months to get through the 12 weeks by myself. So she's got a point. She's got a point. It's easier to do with other people. All right, Annie. Thank you so much for your willingness and your willingness to deal with the technical difficulties that we had. But I fucking love you, and this was such a delight. So thank you again.
And I'll see you on Instagram, and
Yeah,
see you in January.
January 11th. Rock on, my friend. Thank you again. And everybody, again, if you want to head to paulinapinski.com and purchase your seat in the Zoom, you are more than welcome. But if not, thank you for listening. And I hope you all remember that creativity is your divine right. All right, friends.
Bye.
Sign off.